Of high school football in the coal regions on your live local sports leader T102 and streaming at T102radio.com.
The rivalry has run deep between Nativity and Minersville. As of late, it's been dubbed the Battle in the Backyard. Although there isn't a trophy at stake, this game still brings the same intensity as if there were. Both teams rebounded from a loss last week, with the Battling Miners blazing to a 57-22 win over Panther Valley, and the Green Wave shutting out Marion 36-0. Cody Miller hooked up with 5 different receivers to balance the passing game and keep the Colts honest, while Jacob Hoffman and Steven Polinski continue to churn yardage on the ground. However, the defense continues their lights-out approach, holding Marion to a total of 58 yards on offense. Connor Swallam put together a highlight reel of his own at home as the freshman signal caller ran for 148 yards and passed for 169, while contributing to 6 touchdowns on the night, proving his dual-threat capabilities. Luke Stevenowski provided scoring on defense with a pick 6 of 50 yards, allowing Minersville to score in multiple facets in the game. Tonight, however, both teams will pull out all the stops and look to find their way to victory. Can the Green Wave flood the field with talent and come away with the win? Or will the Battling Miners load the cart and prove they have the horses to stay on the winning side of the ledger? This game is more than just a win. It's bragging rights for another season that are on the line. Nativity is in Minersville tonight on T102 Sports.
The following is a sports presentation of the Pottsville Broadcasting Company and T102 Radio. The T102 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you by the following community-minded sponsors. Black Rock Truck and Equipment. We focus on one customer at a time. You. Joe Thur's Automotive. Get world-class repairs by a world-class technician. Day One and Legal Hardware Incorporated, Schuylkill County's Harmon Stove headquarters. Mac Tools. They're not just tools, they're Mac Tools. Lehigh Valley Health Network. Your health deserves a partner. TB Landscaping Supply. Make your property the all-star in your neighborhood. HB Steel & Sons Oil Company, providing year-round comfort since 1947. The Burke Schuylkill Oil Heat Association. Modern oil heat, warm, safe, and reliable. Aaron's Sale and Lease. Trust Chet and find the big score. CACL Financial. You won't find a better fiduciary relationship anywhere. Easy rent to own. Bad credit, no problem. Everyone's approved. OIP Pottsville, where the food is flame smoking good. Wiener Iron and Metal Incorporated, recycling for our future. Phoenix Physical Therapy. At Phoenix, you can recover, recharge, and rise. Rinaldi Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Drive happy. Vito Rinaldi Chevrolet. Check out the all-star lineup on the Gold Star Highway. Adelphia Seafood. There's fresh and there's Adelphia Fresh. Fish and seafood so fresh, you'll swear it was just reeled in. Reynolds Consumer Products. We create products people love. MI Windows and Doors, the clear choice. There's a lot that goes on behind our windows. Sunbury Motor Company. SMC is where you want to be. The T102 High School Football Game of the Week is also made possible by the following local businesses.
Rodnick's Discount Groceries. Check out the savings each week. Tell them Joey sent you. The batting cages at the church. Get your swing on in any weather. The Green Wave Association, supporting all of the extracurricular programs at Nativity BVM since 1982. The Pellish Law Firm, a small firm that focuses on everyday people in Pennsylvania. St. Clair and Associates PC. Can your business afford not to have a reliable accountant? NFI Industries. They pride themselves on delivering completely customized supply chain solutions no matter the industry. BG's Value Markets. 4 convenient locations to serve you in Pine Grove, Minersville, Millersburg, and Jonestown. R&J Tours. Get out of the house and on your way. Call R&J today. And the Dent Shark. Take care of those bumps and bruises on your ride with a paintless dent repair system. Now let's head to Minersville, where the Battling Miners are set to tangle with the Nativity Green Wave. Here's John Powers and Chaz Hepler.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Burke Schuylkill Oil Heat Association pregame show, and they'd like to remind all high school football fans To enjoy the weather outside but stay warm and cozy inside this heating season, contact one of their member dealers for the best in home heating comfort. Remember, each member dealer is a local full-service company with roots in our community. And here tonight, John, speaking of community, the battle in the backyard is about to unfold between Nativity and Minersville. And boy, oh boy, after last week, some questions answered for the battling Miners. Nativity put it all out there in the first half and took their foot off the pedal in the second, and here we go.
Yeah, you know, Minersville got off to a tough start against Pottsville, and the Monterey game that was played here, and some kids got knocked around a little bit, and they came back with a vengeance last week and just put up some incredible numbers. And a ninth grader by the name of Connor Schwalm, 220 total yards last week, 8 for 11, 170 throwing the ball, 8 rushes for 148 yards. Chaz, 4 touchdowns running, 1 throwing the ball. I remember when we first started together and we had a game here when Tamaqua was here against Minersville, and I mentioned a young man, and I said, you know, I think before this is over, I'm going to be calling him Mr. Boyle. He was a sophomore at the time, Nate. I have a funny feeling I may be referring to Mr. Schwalm by the time he gets through his 4 years at Minersville here.
John, just a freshman, he may not have even started to shave yet. I don't know that he's going to be happy about being called Mr., but
Well,
hey, you never know. If he puts those kind of numbers up consistently, teams are going to have to game plan for a whole new thing here with these battling Miners. And that day against Monterey, we saw Connor come to the sideline for a couple of plays. And, boy, when he came back last week, he was fit to be tied in that game and seemed to really have everything together. And then you take a look across the field and you think about Nativity and you think about all of those weapons that the Green Wave brings to the field. I mean, Hoffman and Polinski in the backfield. Miller, Brennan, you know, the connection they have passing the football.
Bet.
It's almost like a law firm.
It is. And, you know, you look at Nativity, they're going to come at you. They're going to run the ball, but they're almost equal running and passing. Very diversified offense. And we talked to Pat, and what both these teams have is speed. I'm amazed at the speed. We've done both a game for both of them, I should say, and the speed is incredible, and that's going to mean a lot tonight on the defensive side of the ball. Nativity picking off passes like crazy. 8 interceptions already this year, Walburn, with 3 of those. Polinski on the other side is big time for the Battle of Miners with tackles, leading them in that category. So I think defense is going to play a much bigger role than a lot of people think going into this ball game.
Well, you caught up with Pat Mason, and let's hear what the coach of the Wave had to say coming into this one.
Pat, big game against these Minersville battling Miners. Let's go back to last week. Thought your kids played exceptional. They had a great first half after coming.
That's okay.
A really tough loss against Williams Valley. But take us back a little bit to last week. Thought your defense played a tremendous game. You actually lead the area now with interceptions. Talk about last week's games, because you got a lot of other kids into the game because of that big lead.
Well, yeah, I think every week, you know, you always think of this as, from a coaching standpoint, you know, you have, you know, your quote-unquote, you know, headline players. You know, you got your guys that, you know, you're expecting every week for them to come and just be great, you know. And when it gets special is when you get those other kids stepping up. You know, when you get those other kids getting a chance and seizing that opportunity, and you know, you get like Dylan Schreffler, you know, steps up, makes a big interception, makes a big run for us, and scores 2 touchdowns for us in the first half. You know, Marcus Voppel, you know, steps up and does a great job for us. You know, Julius Walborn's been playing great for us on defense. You think he may lead the area in interceptions.
Yes.
You know, it just I mean, I can go on and on and on. Jack Miller's having a great year for us on defense. Jake Cooper-Abbage, you know, the guys that, you know, behind the scenes that don't get all the ink in the paper, you know, but, you know, they're the reason that we're 3-0 right now, those kids, you know, and, you know, we're hoping the same for them tonight. You know, we just need every single person every single week. You know, I always tell the kids we got 11 guys. If every single guy does their job, we can't lose. So, so far they've been doing a pretty good job with it.
Yeah, and Pat, looking at it statistically, and I do a lot of this stuff, your numbers are almost exactly the same in rushing the ball and passing the ball. That certainly makes defending you that much more difficult.
Oh, yeah, and I'll tell you, I like to throw the ball, obviously. We got a good quarterback in Cody Miller and Keegan Brennan, who, in my eyes, maybe the best receiver in the county. I truly believe, I'll believe this until my coaching days are done, but if you're ever going to be a great team, you got to be able to run the football. You just have to. I mean, you have to be able to run the football when you need to run the football. And we got a good pair back there in Spolsky and Huffman. It's kind of like pick your poison. I truly believe that, athletically, we're as good as anybody in the county. I don't care what classification we are. We have some really, really good athletes on our team. But being able to do those kind of things all starts up front. We have, pretty much our entire offensive line back from last year, and we have they're coming back again next year. They're all underclassmen, every one of them. T.J. Wagner, a tight end, Jay Cooper-Avich, a tight end. It all starts there. They always say the best defense against the pass is, sacking the quarterback. So our guys have been preventing that from happening, and giving Cody a lot of time to throw, and he's got a good arm and he's got good legs, and he can do it all. He's a dual threat in every sense of the word. So we try to stay as balanced as we can.
Oh yeah, well, and you mentioned Miller, 8 touchdown passes this year, just having a great year. But your all-around guy that I'm so impressed with is Huffman. Whether it's running the ball or catching the ball, 6 total TDs. Tell us what he adds to that football team of yours on the offensive side.
Well, I'll tell you what he adds to our team in general is he's a tough kid. I mean, he is, the kid that, is physical. He's tough. He's emotional. He's a captain. He's not a big talker as a captain. He leads by example. I mean, if you see him play, I mean, he makes a big hit. He makes a big stop. He's fired up. He plays high energy. I think, all around, I think Jake's got to be one of the best players in the county. I mean, he's a great defensive player. He runs the ball effectively, has good hands. He blocks well. He does a lot of things for us, and we're real fortunate to have him. And, we're looking for a big game out of him tonight running football.
Well, you talk about tonight, Minersville shook off a tough game against Monterey area. They came out guns blazing last week against Panther Valley. Schwalm stepping into it. I mean, what a night he had, running the ball and throwing the ball. He's a threat, ground, throwing it, and the guy that he's thrown to most often, Davis. Tell us a little bit about your game plan tonight defensively to shut down these 2 big O-stars.
Well, I mean, it's kind of nice for us because I think we faced a similar tandem, 2 weeks ago, playing Williams Valley, and, I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of kind of changing up what you do. I mean, we're a 3-5 team, we're a cover 3 team, and, we will go some man coverage and stuff, but, we have some good athletes on defense. I mean, we got a nice set of corners, and Cody and Marcus and Julius playing free. I mean, Gabe is top notch, man. Gabe's a great player. He's, I have him in class. I teach him too. So he's a great kid. And in the slalom, he's a slalom. I mean, he's just like Scotty was. A tough kid. His dad, his 2 uncles were real big football players here at Minersville. In the 70s and the 80s, and he's no different. He's a tough kid that just have to play quarterback. And listen, credit to that kid. He going into the season, he wasn't the quarterback. They unfortunately had some injuries, and he steps up and he's lighting it up. He does a nice job. He does a nice job running the ball, and again, he's tough. He's a tough kid. He's a competitor, and obviously he'll be ready to play tonight.
Well, we appreciate you taking this time as always, Pat. I wish there was more to back and forth to see you guys personally, but good luck tonight against these Battling Miners.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You bet.
John, it's interesting when you talk to Pat Mason how he kind of has it from both sides here. Teacher at Minersville, coaching at Nativity, but the camaraderie seems to go a long way, and the respect that each of these programs have for one another.
Absolutely, and Pat talked to us off the air about that and said how respectful the kids were from Minersville to him, even though he's at the other hill. And I'm old enough to remember, Chaz, that the only brawls in the backyard years ago with Minersville and Nativity usually took place right behind the Globe after the dance or right behind the old Y in Pottsville. after the dance. So this is different. That nobody gets arrested from this brawl.
Well, the battle in the backyard about to unfold between Nativity and Minersville. What do you say we take a time out here on the Burke Schuylkill Oil Heat Association pregame show? Their members take pride in not only delivering heating oil, but also offering heating and cooling services to satisfy all of your home energy needs. To find your local dealer, visit www.bsoha.org and find the member search section. Nativity, Minersville, battle in the backyard tonight on T102 Sports.
Football on T102? Check out the video stream to see it with Scoop News.
Back here in Minersville, battle in the backyard between Nativity and Minersville about to unfold. And John, we also had an opportunity to hear from Justin France coming into tonight's game, and a lot of respect for this young man.
Absolutely, coming off a big win. They needed that win, Chaz, for these kids to get that confidence because both these teams are unusually young.
It'll be interesting to hear what he has to say, so let's hear from Justin France, the Mine Boss here at Minersville.
Justin, welcome to the program, and big game against these Nativity Green Waivers. You had two early games where you kind of struggled on both sides of the ball, but got to tell you what, last week on both sides of the ball, you certainly improved. It came up with the big win against Panther Valley. Take us back to that, especially the night that Connor Schwalm had this early in the season for such a young quarterback.
Oh, absolutely. It was, we did struggle the first 2 weeks. When you're running out as many young kids as we are, you kind of expect that. You're gonna live with those growing pains. But we needed that win. We needed to win against Panther Valley. I thought our kids, in all three aspects of the game, right from the opening kickoff to the end, just played great. They gave us everything they had, and it was great to see them win. I was so happy for them because they put in so much time and effort, and just to get that confidence. And like you said, Connor, a freshman who didn't think he'd be playing quarterback up until 3 days before our first game, and he was lights out on Friday night. We've been preaching to him for the last 3 weeks, just play your game, just do what you do, don't try and do anything you can't, and he just took over, and he has that ability. It was great to see. He was confident, he had fun. Every time he came off the field, he was smiling, and it was awesome to see a freshman just do that and be able to perform like that.
Yeah, and I think it's opened it up a little better for some of your other kids running the ball, Fitzpatrick, Grafe, but Stevanowski certainly stepped up, now averaging over 5 yards yards a carry, a touchdown on the ground, and then that big interception return. I think Schwalm's play has opened it up a little bit more for him to do some things.
Oh, it absolutely has. Yeah, that the threat of, you're not sure if Connor's going to run, if he's going to throw it deep, if he's going to throw it underneath. Just that threat of having to watch that has definitely opened up for Luke. And Luke's another kid, another freshman, real young. Didn't even play junior high last year because of an injury, but we knew what he was going to do, and he knew what he was able to do. And to see him open it up and just go, and he had the interception for a touchdown. He ran the ball real hard, real nice. Just a really good player. And like I said, it was great to see him. He came off excited. He was happy to be back. He had a broken finger, so he was back for us and played really well.
Yeah, and you look at your receiving corps, they're doing great. Of course, Gabe Davis, I've seen a lot of players. He's right up there with Engel and Morgan and Brennan as a premier receiver in the league this year. And he's that confident kid, a little older kid. Tell me what he brings to that offense especially.
You know what? He's a playmaker too. He's just going to make that play. He's tall. He can run. He's kind of deceptive with the speed. He comes off. It looks like he's taking it easy, and before you know it, he's by you. But Gabe's the kid that we rely on when we need a play. We need that leadership. He comes up for it. He doesn't drop the ball. He wants the ball every play. He comes off every single time, and he's yelling at the sideline, "Give me the ball! Give me the ball! Throw it to me!" And, just to have that, it's great for Connor to know he has that little bit of a safety net that he can go right to him. And Gabe's going to give you everything he has.
Well, one of the things that I thought was great for you, again, first two games against very quality opponents, you're giving up almost 50 points a game. Your defense last week really came alive. You played a lot of kids, but they really stepped up to the plate. Your defensive backfield doing a great job now.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That was big. And we kind of changed the way we approached defense that week, and we told them we just want you to run around and just play the game. Just stop thinking, just go out and do what you do. We thought the 2 weeks before they were a little hesitant, trying to figure out too much and think too much, and it was funny because we told them just stop thinking, just play, just go play fast. And I was so happy with the way they played for us. They that second quarter, they just completely took the game over.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say about that. Just run around. You have a lot of speed. Just talk to Pat Mason. So do they. They're not the biggest team, but they have great team speed. Talk about this game against the Green Wave. They have a very balanced running and passing attack, almost the same. Tell us what you think about going into this game and what you think the key to the game is against the Green Wave.
You know what? Like you said, they're a very quick team. They're one of the faster teams in the area. Their offense, they can run the ball, they can throw it on you. They want to hit big plays, so they want to get downfield, and they got the receivers to do it, and their quarterback has a heck of an arm. Defensively, they may swarm to the ball better than anybody around. I mean, they just fly around. As far as keys, we need to match the intensity. It's a huge game. It's a rivalry game. We know they're going to be jacked up, but our kids are jacked up. So we got to match that, and we got to try and negate their speed a little bit. And we've been working on some things this week that we hope we can put into play to stop them. But you're absolutely right. They're athletic. They're speedy. They get around, and we got to match that. And our kids just got to go. They got to let it loose. Don't think about anything and just play football.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I talk sometimes to some people, they overthink things so often, and football can be a pretty simple game if you put your mind to it.
Oh, it can. Yeah, definitely. Block, tackle, run, catch, easy stuff. But and we get caught in that as coaches, I think. And you guys know, you start looking into everything and breaking it down, and there's got to be times where you just sit back and, just let the kids play. And that's what we've really been focusing on, that, especially with these young guys. We don't want them getting overwhelmed. We just want them to play like they play. They know the game, so just go do it and enjoy it. We've really changed the way we've coached to, we want these kids to enjoy it. And, the joy last week and how much fun they had in Panther Valley game, we just wanted to keep it going. We want them to enjoy the game, because when you're having fun, you're playing fast, and you got to play fast.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you luck against the Green Wave. It's a big game early in the season, and we'll be with you right through it.
Absolutely. I can't wait. It should be a great one. It's always good to go against Pat, a guy I know, my whole life. So it's always fun. We have good games, and I know his kids are looking forward to it, and so are we. So it should be a fun one.
Yeah, us too, Justin.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, sir.
Well, John, an effervescent Justin
Absolutely.
Frantz heading into tonight's ball game. And, well, let's take a look at our Lehigh Valley Health Network injury report. Sports injuries are orthopedic needs. Lehigh Valley Physician Group is just a phone call away. Their unrivaled sports team has the highest orthopedic success rates in the region. Learn more at lvhn.org/sportsmedicine or call 888-402-LVHN. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner. Tonight, for the Green Wave, Pam Mason saying everything is A-OK as far as the health is concerned. Justin Frantz, on the other hand, says you probably can name all the kids that aren't hurt and playing tonight than if you went through the list. So there's some position changes tonight, some different numbers on some kids because of those changes. But the Fighting 22 Battling Miners will be ready and raring to go.
Yeah, one of the things both these teams have in common, I talked about the speed factor, but, you know, Chaz, you talk about programs that both these guys are tied into their programs. Dressed tonight for the Battling Miners, 24 underclassmen. How about for Nativity, 32 underclassmen? So they're both off to good starts and building a program with young kids.
Well, we're going to step away, take a time out. We'll be back with more right after this. Nativity and Minersville set to do battle tonight, right here on WAVT Pottsville. Back here in Minersville tonight, John. Time to talk about your keys to the game. Brought to us by Easy Rent to Own. No credit, bad credit, no worries. Everybody gets approved. And JP, looking at this on paper as you always do. What's the keys for these two clubs?
Well, I gotta be honest, Ken. Minersville's defense, especially their defensive line, they average 200 yards a man. Can they handle Nativity's offensive line, which averages 272 off the line? So I really believe if Minersville can cope with that kind of size, with their speed, you get a close game. If that offensive line of Nativity establishes it early I think that could be the big key to a Nativity win.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if these come to fruition. We want to welcome everybody on Skook News on Facebook as well as skooknews.com. Checking in tonight, getting the video with our audio. A short kick here by the Wave to get things started, and a fair catch called for on the far side of the field by Ray Snyder will set the Matlin Miners up with a 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Let's take a look at the offense here. Jason Petrozino and Cade Schultz are the tackles. The guards, Mike Rizzardi and Taylor McGovern. Dylan Smith, the center. The wideouts, Brock Polinski, Gabe Davis, Lorenzo Uri. In the backfield, Luke Stevenowski, Jared Grafe, and Connor Schwalm, the quarterback. We'll talk about Nativity's defense here in just a moment. Is Schwalm ready to go with 3 receivers on the far side? Davis lined up as a tight end will shift sides of the field. Now we have a whistle and a flag on the play. So with that, John, we'll look at Nativity Starters, and I think we're going to have a false start here against the Matlin Miners. Defensively for the Wave, TJ Wagner, Jake Cooper, average defensive ends, and Osgard Josh Jacoby. Dylan Schreffler, Steven Spolsky, Jake Hoffman, Jack Miller, and Fletcher Eads, the linebackers. The corners are Cody Miller and Marcus Vompel, and Julius Walborn is the safety here. And the last time we saw this Wave defense, John, I thought they were probably the most ferocious group we've seen.
They're swarmers. They are swarmers. There's such quickness. They don't have the size of the offensive line, but quickness-wise, and there's a great example, they just get to the ball.
Schwalm going to hand to Stevenowski. He's going to lose a yard on the carry. And he was smothered by that Nativity front.
I'll tell you, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And again, the quickness thing is just as important. At times it would Jack Miller coming up from his linebacker spot, and that's a one-on-one, head to the side and driven to the sod.
2nd down and 16 here for Minersville. 2 receivers each way. Schwalm looking to throw, pressure coming. He's going to get flushed. Pass in a hurry underneath. Davis breaking back for it. Can't come up for it. It's incomplete. It'll make it 3rd down and 16.
Yeah, that's a toughie right off the bat, but they have to get both of their games going. Minersville has to do what they did so well last week, and that is balance, offense and defensively. Schwalm certainly makes things happen from that quarterback spot, though.
So Schwalm will get a play from the sideline, hustles back to the huddle. 3rd and long here for the Matlin Miners. First possession of the night, 3 receivers near side. Schwalm will stay in the gun.
Wow, you talk about trips, man. A lot of speed out there, too.
Bubble screen quickly to Davis. Good tackle in open space by Cody Miller. Davis will get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It'll make it 4th and 16.
They're the kind that'll drive you crazy. You get a completion and you get absolutely 0 from it. But again, the quickness of this defensive group for Nativity, that group of linebackers and the defensive backs have done a great job all year.
Spolsky and Walborn back deep to receive the Jimmy Chikora punt. Low line drive, going to take a hop. Spolsky thought about it and then backs away. And Brock Polinski gets down to touch the football at the Nativity 41-yard line. Let's take a look at the Green Wave offense. Bennett McNamara, Liam Riley, the tackles, the guards, Kyle Kenton and Grant Lapachinsky. Anthony Krummer will be the center. TJ Wagner, the tight end. Keegan Brennan, the wide receiver. Dylan Schreffler, Steven Spolsky, and Jacob Hoffman all in the backfield tonight, with Cody Miller, the quarterback. Defensively for the Miners, the ends, Luke Tobin, Gabe Davis, Taylor McGovern, and Dylan Smith. The tackles, the linebackers, Lorenzo Uri, Luke Stevenowski, Adam Fry, and James Dubé. The corners, Jared Grafe and Ray Snyder, with Brock Polinski as the safety. Dylan Schreffler in motion, passing on 1st down. Going to be complete, and then they're going to say Brennan lost the handle when he made contact with the ground, so it'll be a pickup of 3 yards. That'll make it 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, quick out. This is what they're going to do, and they do it so well, trying to get the ball in the hands of some of these kids who could just do great things once they get in the open field.
The official's going to confer. Yep. Official on the far side said the catch was made. I don't think that's going to sit too well with the Minersville coaching staff.
No, honestly, it looked like it came out pretty quick there, but they're calling it a catch, and life goes on.
2nd down and 7. Miller in the gun. Fakes the handoff to Polinski, keeps straight ahead. Picks up another 3 yards. Coming up to make the stop for the Battling Miners, James Dubé.
Dubé's had an incredible year so far. Leads them with second in tackles with 17 on the year.
3rd and 4 here for Nativity. Miller going to get the pistol this time. Keeps the running back behind. One to his right. A receiver each way. Turn and give. This is to Hoffman. Caught in the backfield in a hurry. Dubé with another big stop here on the drive for the Battling Miners. No gain makes it 4th and 4. And let's see what the Wave elect to do here, John.
Yeah, I got to tell you, coming up again from that linebacker spot, we just mentioned Dubé, and he comes up with a big tackle here. 2 quick tackles early in this ball game for the 5'8" sophomore.
So 4th and 4. Nativity taking some time here.
I got to tell you, he has such confidence in these kids. I'm not surprised at all that they're going to go.
Have to be careful of the time here. There's the hand up. Miller calls for the football. Rolling right, will throw back to his left. Hoffman with the reception. Going to lose some real estate. Gabe Davis there to make the tackle. Boy, that was almost like a Thanksgiving setup there. The cousins meeting early. And this time it's Gabe winning the battle. And that'll turn the football back over to the Battling Miners at the Nativity 45-yard line.
Yeah, they chalk it up as a 2-yard loss, so you get a completion. You get 2 completions, and yet they are at they're at just 1 yard total yardage throwing the ball. Great defense by this defensive backfield and linebackers for the Battling Miners.
1st and 10, the handoff. Stefanowski rolling his way ahead for a gain of 10 yards. Coming up to make the stop, Dylan Schreffler. That's going to be good enough for a Battling Miner 1st down at the 35-yard line. That's our first down of the night, JP.
Absolutely, and no question that he's added so much to this offense, and you saw it there. He had a big game last week and rolls off 10 to start this drive.
So 8:15 left to play here in the first quarter. Scoreless ball game. Yuri going to go in motion. Handoff in the backfield again is the Stefanowski. Straight ahead running, clips off 8 this time. Tackle made by Jack Miller. Make it 2nd down and about 2 here, John. And boy, where did this come from all of a sudden, right?
And right up the gut. Now, I said the defensive line for Nativity is not as big as their offensive line, and right now, Minersville kids up front opening up big holes for the running back.
So 2 receivers to the near side. 2nd down and 2. Schwalm will call, looking to throw. Pressure coming, and he's going to get gobbled up in the backfield. Whoa, baby, look out. Jack Miller with a big sack on Schwalm. Well, let's see where they're going to mark forward progress. That's going to be the question here, John. It looks as if it's back to the 39-yard line. That takes 2nd and 2 to 3rd down and 14.
Yeah, a big 12-yard loss here, and what pursuit by that Nativity defense. They may not have the gigantic size there, but their quickness, if you don't hold a block on them right off the bat, they're around you.
So 3rd and distance here for the Battling Miners. Yuri again going to go in motion. Schwalm loads up down the near sideline. Davis looking to run underneath. That's overthrown and incomplete. 4th and 14, and does Justin Franz look to pin Nativity back here on 4th down?
Yeah, I think he may. Good coverage there on that one by Cody Miller.
Early going, 6:53 left to play in the first, and Pottsville has the lead against Pine Grove, 7-0 in the first ever meeting there.
Big test for Pine Grove. They're coming off a big win against Blue Mountain, but Pottsville has been on a roll the last 3 weeks.
Jacora angles the punt out of bounds.
This is going to be a penalty somewhere on the sideline here, I think.
Well, one of the coaches caught the football, wasn't happy that it was angled out of bounds, and spiked it out of play, and then,
It just they're asking what's going on, but, yeah, there was no question he took it and fired it. Not happy with the punt, to say the least.
So let's see what the call is going to be. Personal foul. Sideline. That'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Whoa.
So it'll be 15 yards from where the ball was placed at the 28-yard line. Okay.
They step it off right. It should be to 43.
It is. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Nativity at their own 43-yard line.
And the last thing you want to do is give them a freebie out near midfield, getting close to midfield.
So Miller in the gun, drifting back, looking, pressure coming, lets it fly. It's not going to meet the mark. Heavy pressure coming by the Batlin Miners. And bearing down on Cody Miller was Dylan Smith.
Yeah, and you talk about versatile players. I said in the last play, Cody Miller made a great play, breaking up a pass, the quarterback, and now on the other side, that was Connor Schwalm with the great coverage on Brennan.
So 2nd and 10 here for Nativity. 6:36 remaining first quarter. Still scoreless in the battle of the backyard. Low snap, going to bounce, but Smith right there to catch Jake Hoffman, who caught the football off the hop. And Smith is putting together an inspirational series here. They'll mark Hoffman down at the 40 on forward progress, a loss of about 3. We'll make it 3rd down and 13.
Well, I look and I have to tell you, Hoffman, great hands. That could have been a disaster, but he caught it on the hop and was able to haul it in so they didn't lose the football, which would have been critical early in the game here.
Boy, it is a beautiful night for football, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Early October weather like this, John?
We'll take it.
Oh.
Right through December.
I mean, Justin didn't even need to break out his thermals yet with us. So here comes Miller drifting right, looking to throw, skips it through. Schreffler with the reception. And Dylan Schreffler's just as fast on the grass as he is in the pool. Touchdown, Nativity.
About 60 yards on the throw, catch and run. Schreffler taking it to the house.
So Nativity on the board first. And boy, Miller was under some duress, John, to get that out like he did.
Well, we're seeing such poise. We saw it even against Williams Valley. This young man, Junior, has such great poise on the field, Chaz, and it certainly paid off for them.
Could that be our Blackrock Trucks Joe Thurs Automotive uplifting play of the game, John?
It could be. We'll keep you in suspense.
Snap down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 5:41 left to go, first quarter. It's Nativity 7. The Batlin Miners nothing. Back with more right after this on T102 Sports.
Connected to you through local high school football.
Scoop News here tonight, live streaming. Folks, let's give Scoop News a break here. Scoop News is here, not making a dime off of this, doing all of you a community service. So before we keep going with the commentary, please give them a little respect. This is for you and you alone. John will take a look at our Sunbury Motors drive summary.
Well, it only took a minute, 3 plays. Going to sound funny, a 57-yard drive, but a 60-yard touchdown catch and run from Miller to Brennan. They had lost some yardage, but boy, once Dylan Schreffler caught that ball, he was off to the races.
So a fair catch again called by Ray Snyder, this time at the 30-yard line. The Battling Miners will get control of the football, down 7-0 with 5:41. And sometimes when media folks do things for free, doesn't happen very often. So what's going on here with Scoop News? People need to chill out a little bit. As they try Brock Polinski on the end around, and Polinski going to lose some real estate. Football will be spotted at the 25-yard line. A loss of 5 will make it 2nd down and 15. Steven Spolsky tracking him down along with Jake Cooper-Ravage.
Yeah, Polinski getting some time. Again, you mentioned he had to move some kids around, so Polinski in the backfield now.
Well, Joey Shimo not going to be calling in tonight, John. He's at the Mono Area Tri-Valley game. Bad thing is Joey has a carrier that doesn't allow him to make phone calls down there.
Oh.
And it is a national carrier, but he's having some trouble. So he said, let's keep the folks intact. Stevanowski, no gain on the play here. 4:07 in the first, a 1-yard touchdown run by Jonas McGrath. The TD was set up by a 61-yarder by Chase Herb. Tri-Valley leading the Golden Bears 7-0.
Well, here it's big time already. Got to come up with a decent play here, get a drive going. Chaz, they haven't been able to do that yet. Big 3rd down play here for Connor Schwalm and the boys.
3rd and 15 to be exact. Schwalm going to try a quick hitter over the middle. The pass is complete. That's Brock Polinski on the reception. Polinski out to the 35, 36, 37. Give him the 37, John.
Yeah.
So a 12-yard pickup, but not enough for a 1st down. It'll make it 4th and 3. Let's see if they run Jimmy Chikora on to punt it away again.
Yeah, you got it. This is too deep, Chaz. They're going to kick it out of there and ask their defense to get it back together here.
So Julius Walborn going to drop back to receive the kick. Low snap, Chikora able to handle it. Sidewinding kick towards the sideline on the far side. Goes out of bounds at the Nativity 41-yard line. And that's where the Green Wave will get it back with 3:36 left to go here in the first quarter. Nativity out front 7-0.
Yeah, and you look at statistics sometimes, Chaz, and they can be so misleading. All you got to know so far in the ball game is that Miller to Schreffler for 60 yards for that big score.
Williams Valley tonight out front 6-0. So 1st and 10. And the Wave going to hand it off. Hoffman looked to go left. Now goes straight down the center on a cutback run. Springs his way ahead for a pickup of 15. And a Nativity 1st down at the Batlin Miner 44-yard line.
Well, that's what he does best. I got to tell you what. He is just a workhorse, and he gets things done. 15 yards. Actually, their first down if you don't count that yardage on the long run.
So a whistle and a stoppage here. An official's timeout. Something going on with the chains over there, John.
I don't know. They'll get that straightened out pretty quickly.
Well, let's see.
Here
We're
we
ready to go. Yep. So back to live action here. 1st and 10. Miller will call, gives to Hoffman, this time off the right side. Jake pulling the pile forward for another 5-yard pickup. So 20 on back-to-back carries, John.
Yeah, he got off to a tough start. 0, -2, -3, and now on 2 carries, 20 yards.
So 2nd and 5 here for Nativity. So Miller's going to break the huddle, bring one receiver to the far side. Keep a couple of running backs around. Schreffler going to line up as a wing. Miller looks to load up. Brennan down the far side. The green flash looks back. Cannot make the catch. Flag comes in.
No question.
And we're going to have a pass interference call here.
Yeah, that's one of those no question. And I got to tell you what, it's a penalty, but I have to tell you, it stopped a touchdown. Good route, good throw. And you hate to see a penalty, but it's exactly what it was.
It'll be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down here. So the ball will be set up at the 25-yard line. And Nativity will get a fresh set of 4 here, John.
Yeah. Decent effort, just unfortunately just ran him over.
2 minutes left to go, first quarter. Nativity holding on to that 7-0 lead. Fake to Spolsky. Miller going to keep. Miller pulling forward. Picks up about 6. We'll see where the mark comes in. Tackle made by the Batlin Miners, Luke Tobin. It's a gain of 6. Second down and 4.
Yeah, and they're mixing it up, Chaz. I talked about the best part about this Nativity offense is balance.
So 4-receiver look. They'll bring Schreffler in motion. It's going to be a handoff, but it is going to be a false start. As the guy in motion tripped up a little bit, John, deep forward. And, you know, it's always good when you share a press box with a man you know can run a school, because he ran one heck of a secure detention classroom. Steve Bressi, principal extraordinaire here at Minersville.
I wouldn't know anything about discipline from when I was at the school.
Neither did he. We had to handle it for him, but it's okay.
Oh, boy. Don't move on to superintendents. It could get ugly.
Second down and 9 here for Nativity. Fake to Hoffman. Miller rolling left. Looks underneath. Pass is complete. This time it's going to be Spolsky with the reception. A stiff arm will get him in. And another touchdown for the Wave with 57 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
Boy, a little rollout. Spolsky catches it. Quick move back to the inside and just races into the end zone. 24 yards on that touchdown.
So Cody Miller will attempt another point after here. So Miller stepping back. Snap comes clean. Kick is up. The kick is no good. So with 57 seconds remaining first quarter, it's Nativity 13, Minersville nothing. Back after this on T102 Sports.
To sports.
The one quarter of football at Tri-Valley. The Bulldogs lead Montgomery area 7-0. Pottsville out front of Pine Grove 14-0. Some time left, but let's get our Sunbury Motors Company drive summary, JP.
Well, about 2 minutes and 47 seconds. 6 plays, only 59 yards on the drive. Miller to Spolsky to cap it off with the 24-yard toss and run.
And we see a return by Adam Fry out to about the 22-yard line. First and 10 for the Batlin Miners, down 13-0 here.
Well, got to get something going here, Chaz. First drive, 3 and out. Second drive, they got 4 plays, but there was a penalty involved in there and a big sack. Then the last one, 3 and out. So it's important here.
Schwalm again in the gun, fakes the handoff, going to keep it himself, looks to get the left corner. Will make it a long way. And Schwalm tackled well behind the bench of Nativity.
Yeah, a little extracurricular on the side.
I see a flag. I will say that I kind of disagree with no flag on that. Second and 5 after the gain. I mean, when a coach gets a 15-yarder for spiking a football and, the quarterback's tackled about 4 yards out of bounds, I think there needs to be a flag there.
Yeah. Little battle in the backyard there with no call.
Yeah. So 2nd down and 5. Schwalm ready, going to keep it again this time. Looking to pick his way through the middle. Not going to find that easy. Whole group of white and green and gold clad invaders there. TJ Wagner coming in at the end of that. But Jake Cooper-Ravage leading the initial contact. Also involved in the collision was Jack Miller. Pickup of maybe 2 makes it 3rd down and 3.
Well, the best compliment I could give to this Nativity defense right now is a gold, green, and gold swarm, because they remind me of those Jim Thorpe teams the last couple of years, Chaz, that had so much speed. And when you tried to pick out somebody who had a tackle, it was usually 4 or 5 different guys in on the play.
Well, that's going to bring the first quarter to a close here this evening in Minersville. After 1, it's Nativity 13, Minersville nothing. Second quarter action straight ahead right here on T102 Sports.
Now, back to Chaz and JP for local high school football on T102.
33 for the Battling Miner offense. Schwalm, a little indecision, and
oh boy,
throws one towards the sideline, and yeah, we're going to get intentional grounding. Once again, Jack Miller having a big game here, JP. He had Schwalm in the grips, and there's a freshman mistaken intentional grounding call.
Now he's pointing to a receiver. They may pick this flag up, Chaz. He's pointing to a receiver.
Maybe they
Let's
are
see what
going to wave
happens.
this off.
He is. Love to see that,
Off.
Chaz. I'd love to see that where the officials confer. One guy looks and says, wait a minute, I'm on the side here. There definitely was a guy. That's a class call.
So it'll be 4th and 3 from the 29-yard line. Let's see.
See if they go.
Nope, Chikori's going to drop back.
Yeah, but they may be coming in after it, Chaz. Got a lot of people up front there, and not too far back here. Let's see what happens. Now they're stepping back a little. Timeout.
I think we're going to have a timeout on the field here, aren't we? Let's see. Officials are going to confer now. Now, wait a second. There's all sorts of confusion going on here.
Yeah, it was 3rd down.
Yeah, I think Justin Franz is a little confused on what down it was, because the flag and then the loss of down, but it would have been a loss of down regardless. So,
yeah,
it
so
is
it's 4th
down.
4th and 3.
So Chase Herb punches it in from 8 yards out. Tri-Valley now leading Mono area 14-0 with 9:18 left to play in the second.
Tri-Valley coming in with the vengeance after sitting for so long.
According to Joey, it was Chase Herb all over the joint on that drive. The Mono area could not contain him. Look at this, John. The Battling Miners are going to go for it. Here comes Connor Schwalm looking to run. It is 3rd down. I thought that was 3rd down.
I don't understand that one.
Now I am confused, but okay. 1st down for Connor Schwalm. Everything's figured out. It'll be a 1st down out to the 34-yard line.
Well, we'll give Schwalm 5 and second 1st down for the Battling Miners.
Miners training staff out in the field quickly, and this is not what you want to see for the Batlins right now.
No, Justin was very honest speaking to us that they had some injuries, and they certainly can't afford another one now. But the good news is it's a 1st and 10 for these Miners.
Trail 13-0, 11:25 left to play here in the first half, and this time the pass intended for Polinski is incomplete. Make it 2nd down and 10.
Looking for a quick out, trying to get something up the field, have somebody catch the ball in space and just take off. Just skipped it a little bit. Great pressure by this defense of Nativity. They're making Schwalm throw before he really wants to sometimes, I think.
Schwalm again ready. Here this time is to Jared Grafe. Grafe going to chip his way ahead for a couple. Spolsky in on the stop. Hoffman there. Cooper Ravage also involved.
Well, I'll tell you, they gave him a good spot, Chaz, giving them 4.
So pick up a 4, make it 3rd down and 6.
And again, having to go to another running back. Justin pulling out all the stops here, sending people in and out. And many of them playing in positions they haven't played a lot this year.
Oh, a little OTJ, JP.
You got that right.
Schwalm back in the gun, drifting right, pressure coming. TJ Wagner reaching out, not going to get there in time. He floats it high to Gabe Davis. Davis down the sideline. Finally reeled in by Julius Walborn. Actually, they're going to say Davis stepped out of bounds, John, at the 39-yard line.
Sure,
it will be a first down, but well, that took about 6 yards off the end of that reception.
Yeah, big time, but a 23-yard catch by Davis, and the 3rd first down, and the Miners got it going here, Chaz.
So the clock will stop with 10:29 left to play first half. Minersville putting a little bit of a drive together. Nativity showing blitz here. Schwalm taking his time calling for the football. Hands to Grafe. Grafe looked to go to the middle, now bouncing outside. The football's loose. Jack Miller, the first to contact. And let's see, I think Minersville will keep the football, but they're going to lose a lot of yardage here on this, John.
Yeah, big loss at a very important time, Chaz. Push it all the way back to the 46, so they're going to give it a -7.
So that'll make it 2nd down, 17 here. This time they're going to bring a couple of running backs to surround Schwalm. And again, the Waves showing the blitz. They're going to back out, but the edges are coming. Over the top for Polinski, incomplete coverage provided by Marcus Voppel. That'll make it 3rd down and 17 here for Minersville.
Yeah, I remember talking to Pat again, talking about Voppel and his ability in the defensive backfield. He's done a great job. One of the leaders last year in interceptions. I know he has at least 1 this year, 2 actually.
So 3rd down and 17. Schwalm rolling, has some time this time, looking to the sideline. Pass is complete. It's Brock Polinski on the reception at the Batlin Minor, actually at the Nativity 36. Not going to be enough for the first down. It'll make it 4th down and about 7 here.
Well, 9-yard pickup, but now they got to go. You have no choice here, but Polinski with his 2nd catch for a total of 21 yards.
So 4th and 7. The Miners say we're going for it. Schwalm ready. 3 receivers far side. He's going to float that way. Pressure coming from behind. Passes on the way, and it is complete.
Got him.
But let's see, the spot looks to be around the 30. If so, that may be shy, John, of the sticks. It was Gabe Davis on the reception. He came back for the football. and he does not get enough for the first down. It'll be turned over to Nativity here at their own 30-yard line, and the Batlin Miners coming up short again. 8:54 left to play first half, and Nativity still out front 13-0.
Boy, you got a good rollout by Schwam, good catch by Davison. Just a wee bit short, but you know the good part is for Justin's kids, he could go into the locker room at halftime and say, hey, we had a decent drive there after giving up 2 scores. We can get this done.
Harrisburg today beat Berks Catholic 62-21. Wow. Blue Mountain with a 6-0 lead right now on Tamaqua.
It's a must game for both those teams.
First down, Nativity looking to go top shelf for Keegan Brennan. Triple coverage, and Miller overshoots the mark. Stride for stride, Ray Snyder on the coverage.
Yeah, and for those of you who are joining us on Skook News, there have been a lot of long balls thrown in this game, Chaz, and because of Skook News, you get to see it. A lot of people in the area don't have that opportunity. So, again, a big thank you to Skook News for letting the fans see this.
So second down and 10 here for the Green Wave. Handoff is to Hoffman, streaking his way through. Finally pulled down by Jason Petrosino. Pick up on the play of about 6.
Well, we talked about Hoffman coming into the game, Chaz. He had 52 carries, 343 yards, and 4 rushing TDs. He was 9th in the area coming in.
So third down and 4. Receivers all over the place. Spolsky in motion. Miller going to fake the handoff. Keeps it himself. Has some wide open real estate on the far side. Will have a first down and more. Cody Miller still on his feet. Look at another. Whoop!
Come on.
Right through at the 30. Miller's going to cross the field. He's at the 10. 5. Touchdown. 64 yards in all. And Cody Miller says, the long ball isn't working, but my legs are going the distance, John.
Oh, my goodness. Down the sidelines, a cutback, not once, but twice to get to the other side of the field. And what was great, he went in with a bevy of blockers. They all caught up with it and walked in there after that great cutback, untouched.
Chicken or pork, Cody Miller is going to be the new poster child for Shake and Bake.
Ooh, I like it. All right, yeah, but I don't know.
I'm telling you.
You like that Chick-fil-A, I don't know.
Well, I do. It's tough to get. Speaking of tough to get, the Green Wave going to try for 2 here. So 2 receivers far side. And they're going to bring Brennan in a little bit closer here. Now looks for the football, rolling to his right. Miller looking to the back of the end zone. Pass is complete. And it's going to be Steven Spolsky receiving the 2-point conversion. 7:58 left to go first half. Nativity 21, Minersville nothing. Back with more right after this on T102 Sports.
T102, your local high school football connection.
Cody Miller, 64-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion good. 21-0 Nativity. John, how'd that drive summary workout brought to us by Sunbury Motors Company?
Didn't take long. 56 seconds the drive goes. 70 yards in just 3 plays. Of course, Miller with that 64-yard touchdown run, and Miller to Spolsky for a deuce.
So the Wave will be kicking off once again. Low line drive. Squibb's going to go out of bounds. And it'll go out of bounds around the 35-yard line. So is that where the Batlin Miners will take it? It looks so.
I think so.
Well, John, Larry O checking in. Let's get a report from the Eagles' Nest.
fireworks at the stadium. Tamaqua drove down to the 5-yard line and made a pitch. It was a lateral. It dropped back for a fumble. Blue Mountain picked it up and ran 79 yards with it for a touchdown. The extra point was no good. And just a moment ago, Blue Mountain stopped stopped Tamaqua on the 5-yard line. There was another penalty. It was 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. Their own 15, Blue Mountain. Eman Parker just ran 85 yards for a touchdown. The score late in the second quarter is Blue Mountain 12, Tamaqua nothing.
There you have it. The 12-0 lead on Tamaqua as Jared Grafe carrying on first down, gets it right back to the sticks at the 40. Where they've spotted the football here, it's 2nd down and 10.
Blue Mountain looking to come back after a tough loss to Pine Grove.
Quick hitter this time. Pass is complete on the outside for Davis. Picks up 5. Walborn in coverage, along with Cody Miller. 3rd and 5 here for the Miners.
Yeah, and now Schwab getting rid of the ball a little quicker now, Chaz, because that defensive Nativity was making him run around a little bit more. And that time, 1 step, throw, and a quick 5.
So Schwallen back in the gun again. 3 receivers near side, drifting this way. A little hurry to his step. In and out of the hands and incomplete, intended for Polinski. It'll make it 4th and 5 at the 45. Fumble by Tri-Valley, recovered by Monroy. A run by Cole McGroarty to the 1-yard line. Set up a Ben Terry, who leads the area in touchdowns, by the way, JP. Add another for Terry. 3:31 left to go in the second. 14-7. Tri-Valley leading Monroe area.
Well, we saw Terry right here on this field, and he had a tremendous game that day, and he's just continuing.
Jacora, another low line drive angled towards the sideline. Nativity just elects to let it roll. It'll take a nice Minersville tiptoe down to the 20. And the Wave pinned deep on this start, John.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, distance has not affected this team, Chaz, as, you look at 3 scoring plays, 50 or 60 yards, 24 yards, 64 yards. So I don't think they're intimidated by field position here tonight.
Well, they'll start at their own 20 ahead, 21-0 with 6:27 remaining here in the second quarter. So lots happening here, John, as teams are jockeying for positions tonight. Of course, Mark Michaels at the HB Steel & Son halftime show will have scores and highlights with the Rinaldi family of dealership scoreboard.
Yeah, he's always jockeying for position back there.
Steven Spolsky now taking names and stiff-arming his way down the field. Finally pulled down by Connor Schwalm. Not before he crosses midfield to the Minersville 48. That could be the Phoenix Physical Therapy flexible play of the game, JP. And a timeout for the Battling Miners will take 1-2. 6:18 remaining first half. Nativity 21, Minersville nothing. Back after this on T102 Sports.
T102 Sports.
First and 10 at the 48. Jacob Hoffman totes it 4 yards. Second down and 6 as we return to live action here. Nativity out front 21-0 over Minersville, and on the move right here on this possession. Cody Miller going to roll to his left, looks for the bomb downfield. It's on its way, and no call. Boy, Keegan Brennan was the intended receiver. I think there was some hands involved there, John. No call on the play.
You're allowed hands in battle. You're allowed hands in battle. No weapons on the football field, but hands in battle are okay.
You know, we were talking during the break about having a Mac attack, a Big Mac attack, and I forgot the Big Mac of Minersville is also the public address announcer here tonight, Dr. Carl McBreen down there, the Golden Tones of Veterans Stadium here in Minersville. 3rd and 6 here for Nativity. And a timeout for the Wave will join them. 5:33 left to play until halftime. Nativity 21, Minersville nothing. Back after this on T102.
Like what you're hearing with high school football on T102? Check out the video stream to see it with Scoop News.
3rd and 6 here for the Green Wave. Ball spotted at the Minersville 44.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we talked about on their own 20, and he picked up a lot of yardage in a hurry.
Boy, that may be the flexible play of the game right there as Miller shuffled one across. Jacob Hoffman on the reception this time, carrying the football down to the 5, but it looked like Cody Miller was going to be bottled up like Barbara Eden in I Dream of Jeannie and was able to do a basketball hop, chucked it over the top, John, and Hoffman did the rest.
And you remember that far back? Was it before or after they showed her belly button?
John, it was in rerun when I saw it. I
I
never saw the original
rub
series.
It in.
You were twinkling your nose the other day and hoping good things would happen.
I twinkled my nose watching that, to tell you the truth.
So it'll be first and goal at the 5 for Nativity.
How about 39-yard pitch and catch?
Some look over to the sideline here. The Wave, maybe not confusing, but Miller changing some things up, movement around by the Miners. I'll tell you what, Gabe Davis comes through and finds cousin Jake again. This time going to drop him for a loss of 2. Boy, Davis played corner on that Saturday afternoon we came here, John, when they played Mono area. All these injuries, the big fella moved up to end, and there's another pretty big tackle.
You bet. We talk about his prowess catching the football and running with it, but he's shown it on both sides of the ball here tonight.
So 2nd and goal from the 7. This time it's going to be a quick handoff to Huffman. He's going to try and get off the left side. Might have gotten 2 back to the 5. Jared Grafe in on the stop. 3rd down and goal.
Well, banging around, but I said, Chaz, we were talking about on their own 20-yard line, and here it is 7 plays later, and they're knocking on the door. Not intimidated by distance is this Green Wave offense.
Monroe area got answered back by Tri-Valley. It's 20-7. Bulldogs out in front of the Bears right now. 3rd and goal from the 5 here. Miller going to do a delayed handoff, and the Battling Miners were all around it. No gain on the play. A gang tackle as Jacob Hoffman tried to move things forward. Make a 4th and goal. And John, this could be an uplifting series here by this Battling Miner defense. This may be, if Minersville holds here at the 5, you think that could be an uplifting play in the game?
Absolutely. They are outsized. Their quickness, they're fighting through to not only stop them, but to cause some losses. Chaz, I'm just impressed with that speed, getting off the ball by this Minersville defense.
Boy, it's great to have fans back in the stands, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Miller looking to run the option, going to keep it himself. Cuts back up through the middle, spinning his way, and he's in for a touchdown. Cody Miller runs it in again. And the Batlin Miners are adding more digits to the scoreboard, JP.
They sure did. Good spin move by Miller there on the run. Gets his second rushing touchdown of the evening.
So now has the dubious honor of looking to tack on the point after. Kick is up. And the kick is good. Off the top of the scoreboard good here, John. Wow, I was looking for that to get on somebody's front porch. 2:55 left to go here in the first half. It's Nativity 28, Minersville nothing. Back after this on T102 Sports.
T102, connected to you through local high school football.
The green wave back on the board. Cody Miller from 5 yards out fights his way into the end zone. The extra point good, 28-0, and there's trouble on the kickoff. The Batlin Miners able to claw their way back to it. In fact, getting back on it was Brock Polinski. But John had the wave get into the end zone. Let's talk about our Sunbury Motors Company drive summary. At SMC is where you want to be.
I started with the 1st and 10 from their own 20. I said they're not intimidated by distance. Takes them 8 plays, 3 minutes, 35 seconds to go those 80 yards. Miller with the nifty run from 5 yards out and then kicks the extra point.
So Minersville get it back. 2:54 left to play here in this first half, down 28-0. How about Maureen watching the game tonight in Elizabethtown on Scoop News?
And I'm hoping Marion is listening to us, my good friend Marion from my old show.
Indeed she is. Is Jared Grafe going to lose some real estate? Might have gotten back to the... Yep, they're going to spot him right back at the line of scrimmage. No gain, no loss there for Grafe, but the clock will continue to run. Also, Janine watching along Malone's Road tonight on Scoop News. But your buddy Marion, I'm sure, is listening, and I'm sure... is sitting on the couch going, right now.
Yes. Tough first half for the Batlin Miners.
So 2nd down and 10. Schwalm will wait, looking over the middle, almost intercepted, intended for Polinski. Marcus Vompel in coverage for the wave. 3rd down and 10 here for Minersville. Clock stopped with 2:12 left to play here in this first half.
And I talked about the play to line. I am so impressed with the green wave front in this game here tonight, Chaz. On the defensive side, I mean, they are begrudgingly giving up yardage, and not too often. Nothing too big. The biggest was a 10-yard run by Stevanowski, but outside of that, they've been stellar.
So Schwalm ready, 3rd and 10, heavy pressure coming, rolling to his right, pass is complete. And Gabe Davis making the reception and a 1st down, and alertly steps out of bounds around the 32-yard line.
Well, big 15-yard gain, unofficially the 4th first down for the Batlin Miners, and boy, would they love to knock one in here before halftime, Chaz. Down
That's the name
28.
of the game.
Woo. Yeah, it's got to be. They got to get something here.
So Schwalm going to keep, and look at this, right up the gut he goes on the quarterback draw. Has enough for the 1st down out to the 45-yard line. Untouched the whole way there.
Well, big 13-yard gain by Schwalm as he gets his legs going. Obviously, 5th first down now unofficially for the Miners, and trying to get something going.
So 1st and 10 here. Schwalm coming up, hopping a little bit, but he's not coming off the field, John.
Yeah, that's a Minersville hop, man. That doesn't mean anything. You shake those off in Minersville and go play.
Timeout for the Battling Miners. 1:41 left to play here in this first half. It's 28-0 Nativity. Here's another check from Larry going out the door.
With 1:42 left in the second quarter, Bartholomew tossed a 43-yard pass to Hensley for a touchdown. And for the extra point, Blue Mountain pulled off the Philly special. Hensley scored on the receiving end from Bartholomew. It is now 20-0 Blue Mountain with 1:42 left in the first half.
Wherever you go, to the mountains, on a cross-country trip, or to haul a load.
T102 Sports.
Schwalm rolling out, and it's going to be intercepted by Julius Walborn. Pass was intended for Gabe Davis, but Walborn able to haul it in along the sidelines at the Wave 38, and 1:34 left to go here. Nativity will get the football back on their own side of the 50, ahead 28-0. More scores rolling in, John. Schuylkill Haven leading Shenandoah Valley 41-6. Jim Thorpe out in front of Lehigh 20-0. And in the Valley of the Dolls, Tri-Valley back on the scoreboard again. Jonas McGrath, a 1-yard TD run, 2-point conversion by Chase Herb. Tell you what, he also had an 38-yard run. Mono area having a hard time containing Chase tonight. 20-7 at the half. Tri-Valley out in front. They will receive the second half kickoff right here.
Sampson's kids were ready to play tonight.
Miller to Spolsky once again. Steven out to the 49-yard line. Good open field tackle by James Dubé to halt the progress there. Clock will stop momentarily until they get the chain set up.
Yeah, unofficially 5th first down, but 11 big yards. I'll tell you, Chaz, nothing surprises me with this Nativity offense. Not a whole lot of time when they got the ball, but they certainly know what to do with it.
Miller calls for the football, looking for the home run ball. Goes downfield, incomplete. Spolsky looking back, gets over his head, and that'll stop the clock with 1:02 left to play here in the first half. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Nativity.
Yeah, and the way it's been going, Chaz, you could see something like a short throw over the middle to Hoffman and just let him Scooby-Doo around there, Chaz, and they've been very effective at that.
Ruh-roh, Raggy, that one was incomplete, though.
Yeah, well, the next one that's complete, he'll do the little Huffman shuffle.
Well, we'll see. How many timeouts they have.
There is a reason we're in the booth and not coaching.
Well,
so.
and there's a good reason we're in the booth and not coaching. That's for darn sure.
This is so much easier.
Yeah, you have less headaches, that's for certain. 2nd down and 10. Miller rolling left, looking, pressure coming, throws underneath. The safety valve is there for the reception. Guess who? Steven Spolsky's on his way to the house, and he's got 6 more on the board for the Wave. No flags on the field. Make that a 51-yard pass, John. See, that's why you do the math and I do the talking.
You know what? I called the right play. I just had the wrong guy. I thought it would be to Huffman, threw the exact thing. I thought they might, Spolsky, taking it to the house again. Time management, distance management. They've done it all here in this first half. The Green Wave on fire.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. 51 seconds left till intermission. It's Nativity 35, Minersville nothing. Back with more right after this on WAVT Pottsville.
T102 Sports.
So the Wave back on the scoreboard, John. Steven Polinski with a reception for a touchdown, 35-0. How'd they do it? Let's hear our Sunbury Motors Company drive summary.
Wave crashing in for the 5th time here in the first half. How about this? It only took a minute, 3 plays, 62-yard drive, and trouble in Minersville on this play, Chaz.
Yeah, one of the Battling Miners return men came up to get the football, went off his knee pad and rocketed back towards the Wave. And Nativity has a recovery at the Minersville 40. Boy, when the brakes are against the boys, the Battling Miners timbers are starting to come through.
Yeah, and I got to tell you what, Chaz. I thought we were just going to go into the locker room 35 zip. Everybody come out talking. Well, the talking's not done yet by these Miners. Victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah,
good
Miller's
for
just
him.
Gonna take the snap
this
and
is
kneel
class,
down.
man. This is class.
Pat Mason absolutely is a class act on
Wow.
those sidelines.
This is awesome. We need to see more of this. We really do. We talked about camaraderie among the coaches when we talked to them. This is the proof is in the pudding when you do this. Awesome.
John, you know what time it is?
I got to believe. Oh, I'm feeling sacking.
Are you feeling sackish? Are you?
Absolutely.
Well, then let's just get it done. It's your chance to win up to $102 from CACL Financial if you can sack Larry O. Head to the T102 fan page on Facebook right now. You have 5 minutes to register. You can post your name in the comments section, and one lucky winner will be randomly selected to sack Larry O. Keep watching the fanbook page to see who will be playing tonight and what they will win. Here's your opportunity to pick up some great prizes from the Pizza Place, Black Rock Trucks and Equipment, Joe Thur's Automotive, the Crimson House, BG's Value Markets, Ken's Tires, OIP Pottsville, K Fagata, Basili's Italian Restaurant, Just Your Style, and Benny's Pizza and Burgers. Get to the fanbook page right now and register. You got 5 minutes to tackle Larry O tonight. At the break here, Nativity has done an awful lot of tackling. They have a 35-0 lead over Minersville. The HB Steel & Son halftime show is coming up next, right here on T102 Sports.
61.
T102, connected to you through local high school football.
Boy, John, the Green Wave tonight putting on a bit of a display, not only with their offensive prowess, but their defensive knack as well. And boy, the Battling Miners finding it tough sledding here against the Green Wave in the Battle of the Backyard. 35-0 here at the break.
And it's been these long drives in short amount of times, Chaz. I mean, 5 scoring drives, 57 yards, 59 yards, 70 yards, 80 yards, 60, 2 yards, and then you look, a minute, 2 minutes, 47 seconds, 56 seconds. The longest drive, 3 minutes, 35 seconds. The last one, 1 minute. This has been so effective, and their defense has shut down everything but a couple of the passes, a bunch of passes to Davis. Unfortunately for the Battling Miners, it did not get them into the end zone, but a very dominating first half here by the Green Wave.
You know, John, those long drives in short amount of times are a little quicker than Joe Rodnick making his way to the market on a Wednesday in hometown, that's for sure. But, you know, for Minersville, the breaks have certainly not gone their way, that's for sure. And it'll be interesting to see how Coach Franz gets things together here at the half. I mean, right now you're coming out, you're going to be kicking the football back to Nativity. The clock right out of the break is going to be rolling. It's going to be an uphill fight.
Yeah, and he's got such a young team. And let's just be honest here. They have suffered so many injuries. They lost another running back there in the first half. You got to go in, you got to say, okay, kids, let's play a good 12 minutes. That's what this is about now. Go out and give me all you got for 12 minutes. Let's get something going. I know score-wise it doesn't look good, but you're building a program here, Chaz, and you got to inspire your kids to say, get it together. Come on. If we do what we got to do, let's get on the scoreboard. Let's let our defense get out there and take another shot at it. But that comes with being a coach of a young team.
What do you say, JP? We take a timeout, send things back to the studios at 212 South Center Street, where our Rinaldi Family Dealership scoreboard update with the golden tones, the velvet throat of Mark Michaels is going to get you some scores and highlights from around the region. Don't forget HB Steel & Son. Maximize the efficiency of your wood pellet stove with quality supplies from HB Steel & Son, an authorized distributor of Magnetics wood pellets and Energex hardwood pellet fuel. Stop by the office located just off of Route 61 in Origsburg, or call 570-366-1275 for more information. HB Steel & Son Incorporated, providing year-round comfort since 1947. At the break here in Minersville, it's Nativity 35. The Battling Miners, nothing. Mark's back right after this on T102 Sports.
Reynolds Consumer Products 31 Progress.
To buy? Stop! SMC has all your bases covered. Compare Ford, Lincoln, Kia, and Hyundai, all at the dealer who has been satisfying more customers for over 100 years. Sunbury Motors has all your bases covered for your next new vehicle. Go to sunburymotors.com to compare your next new Ford, Lincoln, Kia, or Hyundai. Sunbury Motors, satisfying more customers, selling more cars. A tradition of trust since 1915.
And good evening, I'm Mark Michaels. This high school scoreboard brought to you by the good people at Rinaldi Family of Dealerships on the Gold Star Highway in Shenandoah. Save up to 20% off Vito Rinaldi Chevrolet's already low prices on Chevy Trax, Sparks, and Equinox. Our game at the half here, Nativity over Minersville 35-0 at halftime. Elsewhere at the half, Jim Thorpe over Lehigh 20-0. Tri-Valley leads Monterey area 20-7 at the half. Halftime score, North Schuylkill blanking Marion 35-0. Pottsville at the half, beating Pine Grove 20-0. Blue Mountain over Tamaqua at halftime 20-0 as well. Schuylkill Haven all over Shenandoah Valley 48-6 at the half. Williams Valley beating Panther Valley 28-6. That game also at the halftime. A close game, second quarter, only a few minutes left till half, and Berwick a tight one over Hazleton by a score of 6-0. Elsewhere at the half, Southern Columbia all over Hughesville 50-0. Danville had a tight game over Central Columbia by a score of 3-0. And at the half as well, Shamokin beating Central Mountain by a score of 12-7. Elsewhere, tight 1-2 at the half. Selinsgrove beating Shikellamy 7-0. Riverside beating North Pocono 13-7. Also, Bald Eagle area over Phillipsburg 14-6. South Williamsport at the half over Bucktail 14-0. Mid Valley losing to Dunmore at the half 14-6. Also, a Northwest area behind Muncie. Muncie leading at the half of that game 14-7. Wellsboro beating Tamaqua 23-0 that game at the half, and also at the half Northwestern over Palmerton by a score of 29-14. And that's a score update at the half. We thank our sponsor for your halftime report. Rinaldi Family Dealerships during Jeep Adventure Days at Rinaldi Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. It's the key to the open road. Purchase a 2020 Jeep Renegade, Compass, and or Cherokee. And save up to 20% off MSRP, and now 0% financing for up to 84 months as well. Our score of the half, 35-0 Nativity beating Minersville. Back with more right here at T102.
MI Windows and Doors is looking for dependable workers to join their manufacturing family with full-time third shift opportunities for maintenance, shipping, and production assemblers to work 8:45 p.m. to 5:15 a.m. Sunday through Thursday nights. Shipping loader opportunities are also available for second shift. MI Windows and Doors offers competitive wages up to $19 an hour in the first year, plus a $1 per hour differential for second and third shifts. Flexible paid time off.
Yeah, I'll do one more for you.
Benefits and 8 paid holidays.
Right.
Opportunities as close as 15 miles from Pottsville, Minersville.
Right now at 13 seconds in this one.
Grove. Apply online at MI Windows. That's miwindows.com/careers.
NFI, a logistics company, is opening a new location in Hamburg, PA.
Yeah, we're good.
Looking for hard-working warehouse associates and forklift operators to join their growing team. Experience a family atmosphere and award-winning culture. NFI is hiring for multiple shifts. Forklift operators starting at $17.50 per hour, plus shift differential, and a $500 sign-on bonus. A new career is waiting for you close to home. Visit NFIcareers.com today.
Hey there, Joey Rodnick back once again to tell you about all the great deals at Rodnick's Discount Groceries. 304 North 4th Street, Minersville. My dad features great specials every week. Stop by today and check them out.
This week at Rodnick's, imported Swiss, $3.59 a pound. 5-pound block of pre-sliced white or yellow American, $11.99. 5 pounds of French fries, just $5.
Thanks for shopping at Rodnick's with low prices and great
10 seconds
for over 10 years. Rodnick's Discount Groceries, 304 North 4th Street, Minersville. Open 7 days a week.
Now, back to Chaz and JP for local high school football on T102.
Back here at halftime, the HB Steel and Son Incorporated halftime show on the air. And boy, it is a dynamic Friday night throughout the region. As, wow, a lot of things happening. But, you know, John, they're not just tools. You know, they're Mac tools, and they're backed by great service from John Chirico. And so let's open up that toolbox of yours and delve into the metrics of the first half and find who measured up to the standards and take a look at our first half numbers.
Well, I got to tell you, in that first half, you talk about measuring up, some of the biggest tools we've seen all year here in this first half with big touchdown runs and touchdown passes. It just has been a fascinating first half. But let's take a look first at the Battling Miners with on the ground, Schwam with 4 carries for 25 yards. Stevanowski, 4 carries, 17 yards. Grafe, 4 carries for -3 yards. Polinski, a carry, but lost 5 yards on that. Total of 13 carries for 34 yards on the ground for the Battle Miners. Schwam, 7 for 11. 7 for 15 throwing the ball for 71 yards. Davis with 5 catches for 50. Polinski with 2 catches for 21 yards. They unofficially 5 first downs for the Battling Miners in that first half. It's been all Nativity. I mean, if you're listening or watching on Scoop News, you know what's going on. Let's look at rushing for Nativity. Miller, 4 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Huffman, 10 carries for 25 yards. Polsky, 1 carry for 32 yards, 15 total carries, 135 yards on the ground, 2 TDs. Throwing the ball, Miller 6 for 10, total of 188 yards, 3 touchdowns. Brennan has a catch for 3 yards. Huffman has a catch for 39. Spolsky, 3 catches, 86 yards and 2 TDs. And Dylan Schreffler, 1 catch, 60 yards and a TD. Unofficially 5 first downs for Nativity. And here's a biggie in that first half. 2 turnovers by Minersville, and they were turned into, one of them was turned into points, and of course the other one happened just before the half. But the Walborn interception led to a Nativity touchdown with the less than a minute to go.
So there you have it, our Mac Tools first half numbers in tonight's ball game. At the break, Nativity 35, Minersville nothing. Quick timeout and back. Second half action coming up next right here on T102 Sports.
Attorneys Tim Pellish and Tom P. Pellish, now located.
Get the max from your hometown tax professionals.
T102 Sports.
Second half is underway, and Chikora will kick it down to the 20-yard line where it's picked up by Marcus Voppel. Voppel going to slip out of a tackle at the 39, coming to the near sideline. Polinski along for the ride, but not before Voppel returns it back to the Battling Miner 46-yard line. And that's where Nativity will start the second half with the football, ahead 35-0.
Yeah, and you go in the locker room, you tell the kids, we got to get out there, let's get something going, and then Voppel comes up with the big run back. But this is a big deal for a young team. I'm going to say it again. They have got to come up with a stop here. They've got to come up with a stop and get something going just to get a little bit of their blood flow and confidence back.
So 1st and 10 for Nativity. Miller going to hand the football off to Jacob Hoffman. Hoffman slipping through tackles, still on his feet at the 30. Now reverses field. Coming back to the near side, turns the Jets on. Touchdown for the Green Wave from the first play, 46 yards out. And Hoffman finds the end zone for 6.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see, Chaz. But Hoffman just broke a tackle line of scrimmage, and then it was a race to the end zone. Gets his first TD run of the night.
And Cody Miller will attempt another point after. Didn't take long, did it?
No, under a minute again, Chaz. I mean, this offense has been frightening.
Kick is
no other
good.
word.
10:56 left to play. Third quarter. Nativity 42, Minersville nothing. Back with more right after this on T102 Sports.
T102, your local high school football connection.
One play, 46 yards over 12 seconds. Jacob Hoffman rumbling it in. The extra point with 42-0 Nativity. The ensuing kickoff will be a touchback. The Battling Miners will start at their own 20. Congratulations to Zach Deal, who got the sack Larry tonight in the CACL Financial Sack the Sideline contest.
People have been sacking Larry for, 40-some years, but now it pays off with a gift card.
1st and 10. And Schwalm back out to pilot the offense, handing the football off to Jared Grafe. He gets through one tackle, but right into the arms of T.J. Wagner. And Wagner will stack up Grafe. Loss on the play of about 4. That'll make it 2nd down and 14.
Boy, Grafe has had a tough time. I mean, depleted backfield for these Battling Miners, and I'll tell you what, the defensive Nativity just pinning back their ears, firing in there and making some great plays on defense.
So a loss on the play, and Miners trying to get something together against this Green Wave defense. Give again as the Grafe, this time straight ahead, pulling some tacklers along for the ride. Grafe still chugging his way out to about the 26-yard line.
Tackled by the team of the Green Wave.
It ended up and on his back the entire way through that. Crease Stabline.
Yeah, but Grafe got it going a little bit there now. 11-yard pickup. Good for him.
So it'll be 3rd down at about 4 here for the Battling Miners. High snap. Schwalm able to corral it. Just going to run with it. That's about the best he can do, making something out of nothing. He'll have the first down. A stiff arm springs him free. Finally pushed out of bounds on the near side by Tyler Novak. But it is good enough for a first down out to the Battling Miner 34, John.
Yeah, 8-yard run and a good, as you said, he got outside. He looked at him, good stiff arm to get him going, and Schwalm picks up the first down. He continues to be a decent runner tonight against this very difficult defense from the Green Wave.
So a fresh set of downs here for Minersville. Schwalm will look things over. Quick out to Polinski at the 40, turns upfield, works his way to the 45-yard line where he's finally wrestled down by Marcus Voppel.
Well, he didn't get the spot that we
wow,
thought he would.
He was out to the 45-yard line. They're going to give him a first down. But my goodness, he lost a yard. Tally that extra one in there for
Yeah, you know me. If I'm going to make a mistake, it's always going to be in favor of a kid. I'll tell you that right now.
So 1st and 10 once again. Schwalm give this time Grafe trying to work his way back and gets caught at first by Fletcher Eads. Finishing it up was Crease Stabline. That's going to be a loss on the play of about 6. It'll make it 2nd down and 16.
Well, I'll tell you, Grafe is one tough kid, though, man. He's had a rough night running the football. He's running into 4, 5, 6 guys, and yet those legs keep churning, baby.
Boy, John, Jesse Engel just keeps doing good things for Williams Valley. He breaks the school record for touchdown receptions in a career with 32.
He's a magician.
Yeah, halftime score there was 28-0, Williams Valley leading Panther Valley.
Yeah, I dubbed him the magician earlier in the year, and he just continues to do it. We've seen him make catches that were just incredible, both against his Green Wave and Mount Carmel.
And Connor Schwalm doing the smart thing there and just rifling one out of bounds. Clock will continue to move here as it's a 42-0 Nativity lead here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a life-saving throw because Nativity is just teeing off, Chaz. They're coming great guns and putting a lot of weight on the backfield of these Miners, and that plays on you, buddy.
Makes it 3rd down and 16. Schwalm rolling to his left, looking downfield. The pass is incomplete. Polinski coming back for the football, diving, can't hold on. And it'll be 4th and distance here for the Battling Miners.
Yeah, and a good route by Polinski. Not a badly thrown ball, but again, Nativity back there playing some great defense. Chaz double-teamed deep, and it paid off for Nativity.
Tri-Valley received the opening kickoff, a 12-play drive. Big runs by Jacob Aki and set up Chase Herb's 3rd TD of the night on a 9-yard run. The extra point no good. Tri-Valley out front 26-7 over Mono area at the end of the 3rd quarter. And Chikora's punt going to make it to the Nativity 34-yard line. Wave will take over there with that 42-0 lead. And I think Pat Mason has elected to bring in some new recruits here up front. This is a much bigger look, John, along that front wall for Nativity. Whoa, baby. I didn't know they could get bigger. And the Wave bringing out some big fellas here.
I got to tell you what, they went from the Wave to the tsunami up front. I mean, this is a big, big offensive line.
Liam Riley, 6'6", 305. Anthony Crummer, 5'11", 314. See who else they ran out in the middle of all that. But, boy, this is one wall that Nativity's going to be running behind here.
Well, get those jerseys dirty. No better place to get it than in the pit at Minersville.
Christian Chalemi out there, 5'11", 284. So some experience coming here, and the handoff going to be to Fletcher Eads. Eads going to get back to the line of scrimmage. No more there.
I think we're going to see a bunch of running backs now for the Green Wave.
Is this the second wave?
Second wave? I'll tell you what, there have been a lot of waves here tonight, Chaz. Most of them went the whole length of the field.
So Pam Mason meeting with a couple different players on the far side of the field, getting things in order.
Yeah, and people understand the clock is running now, but Minersville held the ball for a little over 5 minutes there, and they had to run out of plays, but
Augustus Warkey running the offense here, John, just a freshman. Warkey going to keep the football, slips out of a couple tackles. Look at this kid.
How about it?
A hard couple of yards for Warkey, but he gets it done. Some positive real estate. Gabe Davis in on the stop. Picks up maybe 2. It's 3rd down and 8.
Well, again, you mentioned another young kid here for this Green Wave, and this is the great part because Pat can play these kids. That pays off later in the season, Chaz. If you're bit with a bug of injuries, you know you could go to other kids.
So the continuous clock still moving. Under 3 minutes left to go here in this 3rd quarter. 42-0. 3rd and 8. Some confusion. Nolan Fairhand, a freshman, bouncing around. Pat Mason going to take a timeout. 2:45 left to go, third quarter. It's Nativity 42, Minersville nothing. Back after this on T102 Sports.
T102 Sports.
Well, JP, I think the Bulldogs of Tri-Valley are sending a message to the Class A field. Bulldogs just got started a week ago against Shenandoah Valley and roll off to a 57-0 win. Right now, they're taking it to Mono area. Hold the phone, though. Jared Grafe, an interception, and that's going to be a pick six. And the Batlin Miners are on the board.
Boy, I have to tell you, that kid absolutely deserved that. Let's be honest. He's had a tough time running the football. Tough kid, sticking his nose in everything. That's a great thing for this young Minersville kid. What do we got? She has about almost 50 yards.
Well, yeah, it was close. 46 maybe.
Okay.
You know, we should probably ask the expert. I mean, I enjoy reading Jeff McLaughlin's features in the Republican Herald, particularly when he talks about the kids that played a long time ago. 46, Jeff? The interception return, about 46?
All right.
Let's say 46.
If Jeff says 46, it's 46.
You got
That's
that
an
right.
easy one.
Jacora's extra point is up, and it's good. 2:33 remaining third quarter. Nativity 42, Minersville 7. Back after this on T102 Sports.
Football on T102? Check out the video stream to see it with Scoop News.
So pick six for Jared Graves. The Batlin Miners on the board. That's our Sunbury Motors Company scoring summary. Did it already, John, but we're talking about Tri-Valley there before the excitement, right? So right now, the Bulldogs, Jacob Scheib getting into the end zone to start the fourth quarter. And it's 33-7, Tri-Valley leading Mono area.
Boy, Mono, after playing some really tough games early in the season and getting some good victories, run into a buzzsaw who was pretty tough to scout because he only had played one game, and that was a rout.
You know, the question is, how many Scheibs are left in the Valley? I mean, my goodness, there's another one.
Check in 9 months. You know, it's probably going to be different by then. It's a big, you celebrate, man, when you get a win. No giggling.
So a short kick here by the Miners. Set the green wave at their own 37-yard line. And Warkey's still out there running the show. Snap comes back. He's going to hand the football off to Fletcher Eads. Eads going to get tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. I believe it was James Dubé in on the tackle again. Dubé's not had a bad night defensively. He's had his opportunities, that's for sure. He's made the tackles when he's been there.
Yeah.
But it is officially a loss of 3. It'll make it second down and 13. Boy, that Class A field, though. Tri-Valley, Nativity, Williams Valley, and Mono area.
Mono area also. A lot of head knocking.
Marion involved, probably the odd man out. They were getting drilled by North Schuylkill at halftime. And here's Nolan Fairhat, the ball carrier. Fairhat's going to pick up a yard. They're down at 12.
Yeah, a lot of young kids getting a chance here. This is what it's all about. You practice hard, you try to take advantage of these opportunities, Chaz. You get in there and you hope you break one.
Under 40 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. 42-7, Nativity out in front. Looking at a 3rd down and 12 here.
And, of course, clock running. Nativity really taking their time.
Pay attention to the T102 website. Could be some schedule changes down the stretch here, John. We're not quite sure. Been some conversation in the sports department as Workey's going to move the football out across the 40 to the 41. Picks up about 8 on the carry.
Yeah, we'll give him 8. And
that's going to bring the third quarter to a close here tonight. We're at the turn in Minersville. Final 12 minutes up on the board tonight, and at the turn, it's Nativity 42, Minersville 7. Back with the old granddad right after this on T102 Sports.
T102, connected to you through local high school football.
And Nativity going to punt the football here on 4th down. Cody Miller angles it to the sideline. Catlin Miners will get it back around their own 28-yard line. 27, 28, somewhere in there, John. We'll wait and see where they spot the football here.
Yeah, I think 27 looks like it.
Injury timeout on the field. We'll take 1-2. We welcome our new partner, Lehigh Valley Health Network and Lehigh Valley Hospital Schuylkill. They have had the highest orthopedic success rate in the region. Sports injuries and more. Call 888-402-LVHN or visit lvhn.org/sportsmedicine. Back after this 30-second timeout on T102 Sports.
Have you ever dreamed big about getting the full experience with your car, truck, or SUV? Well, your dreams are now reality, as BlackRock Trucks and Equipment and Joe Thurs Automotive can handle your
T102 Sports.
Catlin Miners will have it 1st and 10. He's getting moving, but not in the right direction here for Minersville. Lorenzo Uri carrying the football. Might have lost the yard. 2nd down and 11. John, I'm feeling kind of hungry. I like that old homemade food like my grandma used to make. You think you have something for that?
Oh, Grandma's restaurant fan of the game. You can't become, but somebody else can. It's 5 minutes on the clock. Register now at the T102 Facebook fan page for a chance to win the spin on the wheel. But you got plenty of time to visit the all-new Grandma's restaurant. Check out Grandma's new menu. But you can always come back to the best in comfort food. Hot turkey and roast beef sandwiches daily. Homemade pot pie on Tuesdays or mac and fish on Fridays. Grandma's burgers are homemade every day. 2 open Tuesday through Saturday with pickup and delivery available. Call 628-5178. Tell them T102 sent you.
So 5 minutes on the clock. Head to the Facebook fan page and register to be the Grandma's Restaurant fan of the game. Jared Grafe carrying on 2nd down. Picks up 2. It's 3rd down and 9 here for Minersville. Schwalm going to fake the handoff, tuck and run here. Quarterback keeper design, first down and more down the sideline. Pushed out by Braden Feisel across the way at the Minersville 43-yard line.
15-yard pickup is Schwalm. Gets some blocking up front. Gets outside for 15. First down for the Battling Miners.
Actually, they spot him at the 42, John.
I'm still giving him 15.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Levi Murray, a 13-yard touchdown run for Tri-Valley with 7:46 left in the game. And Higgins, it's the Bulldogs 40, Mono Area 7. Here comes Grafe again. Through the defense like gangbusters, gains 11 and a first down.
He's knocking it pretty good now. Jared pumped up after that long touchdown interception.
So that'll move the sticks and puts the ball at the Nativity 47-yard line. So 1st and 10. Schwalm still in the gun. As things looking wide open, Grafe the ball carrier, straight ahead once again, trying to spring to the outside. We'll get the first down and more. Grafe will be pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Pick up a 17, John.
Yeah, doing a good job in there. Grafe getting his opportunities here, carrying that pigskin and doing a heck of a job with it.
So it'll be another first down here for the Miners. They trail 42-7. Under 7 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the game tonight. Lorenzo Uri taking the snap here. Back to the line of scrimmage, no more. Tackle made on the far side of the field by Blake Whalen. 2nd down and 10.
Well, still playing tough on that defensive side for Nativity, but a lot of clean shirts in there.
So 2nd down and 10. Gary working the gun here. Hands the football off. Again, it's going to be Grafe looking to get to the outside. Grafe will have the first down, trying to tiptoe down the sideline. He'll be pulled out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
Big second half for Jared Grafe. 20 more added on to there. Going to have some pretty impressive numbers here at the end of the night, Chaz.
Lane Polski making the stop for Nativity. 1st and goal from the 10.
I want to give a shout out to that wonderful Opolski family. Great, great family and individuals.
At the end of 3 in Cardinal Country, the Crimson Tide of Pottsville leading Pine Grove area 27-7. So the Tide picking things up since their week 1 defeat to the Wave. As Grafe barreling his way ahead, football's loose. Let's see what's going on here at the 5-yard line. Now wait and see them unpile, and it's Nativity football.
Well, second turnover in the second half here.
Blake Whalen recovering the fumble. Timeout on the field. We'll take 1-2. 6:09 left to play here in the 4th quarter. It's Nativity 42, Minersville 7. Back after this on T102 Sports.
Now, back to Chaz and JP for local high school football on T102.
Nativity going to keep the football on the ground here. Quick 10-yard clip for Fletcher Eads. That'll move the sticks.
You know, unofficially, Chaz, 7th first down, but remember, a lot of those were long plays, which you normally do not count into the number of first downs, but Eads with his biggest run of the night.
So the clock will continue to bounce here, 42-7. Nativity leading Minersville. About 5 minutes left to play here. Warkey will call for the football. Bring a man in motion. Going to hand it to him. That's going to be Crease Stabline. Stabline's loose. Stabline slipping tackles at the 25.
How about
Still
this?
a shoestring tackle. What a defensive play made by the Miners. And it's Jimmy Chikora making the touchdown saving tackle.
I'll tell you, he was off and running.
Oh, look at the spot.
What? He must have stepped out of bounds or something. Chaz. I mean,
he spotted the football at the 49-yard line, although he was down around the 40. But that's it. You know, what are you going to do?
Oh,
what are you going to do? It's
36-yard run, Chaz. He'll take the.
So 1st and 10 for Nativity. Handoff going to be to Fairhat this time. Fairhat looking to turn the corner. We'll gain a couple. Runs into the awaiting arms of the Batlin Miners, Caleb Smith. Picks up 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Nolan Fairhat, the ball carrier there. So the second wave doing their job on this drive.
Absolutely. Take care of the football. Take care of the football.
Warkey going to hand the football off again. Moving forward with it. Fletcher Eads. Eads is a 1st down and more inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line.
14-yard pickup, and these young second wave coming in, doing a heck of a job here as Eads with the big 14-yard run. He's running up some impressive numbers here, Chaz.
Congratulations going out to Marcia Harp, our Grandma's Restaurant fan of the game tonight. Thanks to everybody participating on Facebook. Of course, it's a little different not having Larry in the stands giving these things out and allowing you to tackle them, but we're trying our best to use the social media to keep you in the lap of luxury, John.
Lap of luxury, and it doesn't get any better than sharing that lap with Scoop News.
Warkey has the ball snapped right past him. He has to go all the way back to midfield to fall on it. That's going to change things up a little bit.
Yeah, and, you know, that's a shame because that'll go in tomorrow as a big loss. But, you know, it was a mistake. That's what it is. I don't chalk that up against anybody when it comes to individual stuff. It's a team thing.
2nd down and 26.
Whew. And taking their time, obviously, as the clock continues to run.
Pat Mason going over with his young quarterback here, saying, make sure you're following the ball. You got to get the ball. And you can see him, he's still over there, even on the sideline giving the play. He's still trying to coach the youngster up. There's nothing like game action to get things together.
There is nothing that takes the place of game action.
Oh, boy, it's out again. And the Batlin Miners going to catch a break here at their own 37. As Adam Fry comes up to fall on the loose pig. And, you know, I never understood why they call it a pigskin when it's made out of cowhide. But Minersville's getting the ball back with 1:38 left to play here in the 4th quarter, trailing Nativity 42-7. But
it's just something to think about. It's something to think about. I do not intend on thinking about it any more than 7 seconds it took for you to get it out, but whoa.
It's a deep thought. It's kind of the driveway, parkway thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Like jumbo shrimp, huh?
Exactly.
Okay.
See, you get it now. Here's Lorenzo Uri on the keeper, looking to set his feet to get to the outside. He'll get there. First down and more. Driven out of bounds inside or right around the 25. Let's see where the spot comes in. We'll be right at the 25-yard line, I believe, John.
Yeah, we'll give Uri a pickup of 12 and a first down. It's always great to see these young kids playing. Shout out to that Gino Uri.
Bulldogs keep it rolling. 3 TDs by Chase Herb, and the final score there, Tri-Valley 40, Monterey area 7.
Whew, welcome back, Bulldogs.
And this time is going to go to Ray Snyder. Snyder jitterbugging his way forward, John.
Yeah. Good move. That's a globe move. Globe of Minersville move. The jitter.
Timeout on the field with 32 ticks left to go here. We'll take 1-2. It's Nativity 42, Minersville 7. Back after this on T102 Sports.
T102, your local high school football connection.
Handoff this time is going to go to Adam Fry. And Fry's going to be close to a first down at the 15-yard line.
I think that may be it, though, Buck.
Let's see if the Miners elect to snap it here.
Nah.
I don't think so. Time's going to expire on this one. The final score, Nativity 42, Minersville 7. Coming up next, the MI Windows and Doors post-game show right here on T102 Sports.
MVP for the Batman Miners, number 25, Jared Grape. Congratulations to both Cody Miller and Jared Grape on receiving their MVP awards this evening. Both young men played a nice game tonight.
49. Clock was running.
Thank you for attending this evening's ball game. The Minersville Area School Districts, thank you for your patronage and thank you for observing social distancing and also wearing of face coverings. And just remember, these student athletes and cheerleaders and the band, they deserve to finish the season. So we appreciate all of your cooperation in that matter. Thank you once again for attending tonight's ball game. Have a great weekend.
I think so. I think.
T102 Sports.
The MI Windows and Doors post-game show on the air. It's the clear choice. There's a lot goes on behind MI's windows. And, well, John, there was a lot going on in that first half by the Green Wave. 42 points after, well, coming out after intermission. One play made it 42-0, and the celebration was on in the battle of the backyards here for the Green Wave. And Pat Mason proudly carrying the trophy in this contest, in this series, back atop Lawton's Hill.
No question, a well-played game by Nativity. I mean, my goodness gracious. Quick scores, long drives, but very short time periods. And when you look, the shortest touchdown they had was a 5-yard run by Miller. You look after that 46-yard run, 51 yards, 64 yards, 24 yards, 60 yards. I mean, that's just how it was the entire evening, and that made it that much more difficult the whole time.
Indeed. Well, John, you know, there had to be a play tonight that really was uplifting. And if you've ever dreamed big about getting the full experience with your car, truck, or SUV, your dreams are now reality at Joe Thur's Automotive and BlackRock Trucks and Equipment, because now they can handle your repairs, customization, luxury features, all under one roof. From roof to rubber and bumper to bumper, no job is too big or too small. Make your way to BlackRock Trucks and Equipment and Joe Thur's Automotive at 109 Fireman's Road in Frankville. And JP, what did you find to be the uplifting play of the game tonight?
I got to be honest, it was the interception by Walborn, I thought. 1:50 to go in the second quarter. Looked like the clock was going to run out. You know, Nativity was going to go in with a nice lead. He picks off a ball. Nativity immediately drives down and scores another touchdown, their fifth of that first half, which took the clock to keep it running all the time. Mm-hmm. I thought that was the most uplifting play of the game because it kind of was the dagger in the heart against these Battling Miners.
I'm not going to throw the curveball at you tonight. Let's go right into the flexible play of the game. Of course, Phoenix Physical Therapy coming along for this one. And life is about motion, so orthopedic injuries are just a part of life. Phoenix Physical Therapy helps you rise to new heights after an injury by creating a program focused on you. With direct access, you can easily schedule an appointment at one of their convenient clinic locations in Pottsville, Orwigsburg, Frackville, Pine Grove, or Gratz. At Phoenix, you can recover, recharge, and rise. Like JP's hips with Bobby Dussel, 2 days later, doing basketball. Visit PhoenixPhysicalTherapy.com to schedule your physical therapy visit today. So, John, what did you think was a flexible play this evening?
The most flexible play was on Cody Miller's 64-yard touchdown run, 7:56 in that second quarter. I got to tell you what, his hips, his shoulders, and his knees were going in different directions all the time. He was able to go 64 yards, juking, making people miss, and then once he cut back to the right side, he was going to pay dirt. So that definitely, he showed the flexibility it takes to be that running quarterback in that instance.
John, what kind of lift does this give to the Nativity Green Wave program coming into a big rivalry game? It was pretty action-packed early, but then it seemed like Nativity found the recipe for success here tonight.
Yeah, and they did it the same way they've done all season. Now, they're going to have a lot of yards on the ground, but you know, they didn't have to throw the ball in the second half. Chaz, all the yardage they gained through the air was in the first half, but I think those numbers would have been very similar if the other kids had to play and they were throwing the ball. But it's that balance. Chaz, I talked about it in pregame. We've talked about it with Pat so often, and they have so many weapons, and a lot of those kids really stepped up tonight with big offensive games. He went to the bench, and those kids did well also. But they just had the whole package tonight against, again, a pretty banged-up Minersville squad that's pretty young. But, you know, they played their hearts out, Chaz. You know, I go to these games, and sometimes people only look at a score. You saw it on Scoop News here tonight. There was no give-up in the Battling Miners. They just ran into a buzzsaw, and Nativity continues that march to District 11 play.
You know, John, it's been a busy night on the gridiron. So let's open up that toolbox of yours once again and find who turned the wrenches and was torqued up with our final numbers, because they're not just tools, they're Mac tools, John.
Mac tools, and all the Mac tools were wielded by that Green Wave tonight. The big Macs were on that side. Minersville struggled with that. Let's look at numbers on the ground. Schwalm, 6 carries, 48 yards. Stevanowski, 4 for 17. How about that Jared Grafe? He ended up with 11 carries, 48 yards, and you know, he had 4 plays in there where he just got clobbered in the backfield, and he turned it around there in the second half. Polinski, a carry for -5. Yuri, 3 carries for 11 yards. Snyder, carry for 8. Fry, carry for 4. It ends up 27 carries for 119 yards. Through the air, Schwalm 8 for 18 for 82 yards. Davis 5 catches for 50. Polinski 3 catches for 32. Just a little under 200 yards, total yards for the Battling Miners tonight.
And don't forget, the Minersville 7 points came on a pick 6 by Jared Grafe, about 46 yards in all.
Yeah, outstanding second half by Jared. I mean, he is a running back. He got pushed in again when Stevanowski went out there with an injury, and he really stepped up big time. And when you can run it like that, take that kind of beating from a very tough Nativity defense and still come up with a big defensive play, bingo,
of course,
bango.
Grafe was voted the MVP on the Minersville side of the game. The media selects an MVP from each team. The Nativity MVP, we'll talk about in a little bit, but Grafe, the Minersville MVP in tonight's Battle of the Backyards contest.
Absolutely. Now let's take a look at that winning Green Wave as they push their record to 4-1 on the season. The only difference in that, a 1-point loss to those Williams Valley Vikings. But on the individual side, Cody Miller, 4 carries, 78 yards for 2 touchdowns. Hoffman, 11 carries, 71 yards and a touchdown. Spolsky, a carry for 32 yards. Eads, 4 carries for 21 yards. Warkey, 2 carries for 5. Fairhat, 2 carries for 3 yards. And Stabline, 1 carry, 36 yards. Not too bad there, Chaz. 25 carries for 246 yards on the ground for the Green Wave through the air. Again, all in the first half, as Cody Miller was 6 for 10 for 188 yards, 3 touchdowns. Receiving the ball, Brennan a catch for 3 yards. Huffman 1 catch, 39 yards. Polinski 3 catches, 86 yards and 2 TDs. Schreffler a catch, 60 yards and
a touchdown.
So a bundle of yards gained, total almost 450 in the ball game for the Green Wave as they continue to crash through their opponents.
And there are Mac tools of the game, backed by great service from John Chirico. Give John a call at 570-582-3776. JP, before we get to our awards on the evening, let's take another time out here on the MI Windows and Doors post-game show. Nativity victorious 42-7 over Minersville. We're going to tell you who our player of the game was, lineman of the game, and defensive player of the game when we come back right here on WAVT Pottsville.
Check out the video stream to see it with Scoop News.
Winding down here this evening at Minersville. Nativity victorious tonight, 42-7 over the Batlin Miners. And the MI Windows post-game show rolling along. And John, let's talk about our Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram lineman of the game. It's your first call when your credit has you on the sidelines. They are Pennsylvania's most awarded dealership. And who'd you like in the trenches tonight, JP?
Well, in the pregame I had mentioned, I thought a lot was going to come down to this big Nativity line and whether Miners would be able to handle that. Savage 61 lineman of the game, Bennett McNamara, offensive tackle for Nativity, led that whole crew in cleaning the way for almost 250 yards on the ground. So congratulations to Bennett McNamara as the Savage 61 lineman of the game.
And Aaron's the big score gets you started. This player prevented a big score tonight. Who'd you like as our Aaron Sales and Lease Defensive player of the game.
Well, I got to tell you, and it was all night long, Chaz. In the first quarter, it sounded like it was every other play. Jack Miller from his linebacker position for the Green Wave tonight gets our Aaron Sales and least defensive player of the game.
Well, we better hurry up. The Green Wave are on the buses out of town and leaving Minersville already. Our TB Landscaping player of the game. And just like TB Landscaping turns your property into the all-star in your neighborhood, this player brought their A game tonight.
This was an easy one, I'll be very honest. Cody Miller, what an outstanding game. All of this in the first half. Chaz, 4 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns running out of that quarterback spot for the Green Wave. 6 for 10, throwing the ball 188 yards, over 30 yards, a catch for 3 big TDs. Easy call tonight. Cody Miller, the Green Wave.
Not only our TB Landscaping player of the game, but also the MVP in the Battle of the Backyards 2020 version, where Nativity wins 42-7. Now, John, a double dip of football next week.
Yes.
We know our destination Thursday, unsure of Friday at this point. But Thursday night, we'll be heading to Indian Territory, Lehigh Indian Territory, where they'll host Blue Mountain, who picked up a big win tonight over the Tamaqua area Blue Raiders. A Thursday night affair in Lehigh.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. And again, nice win for Blue Mountain tonight. They are snake-bitten in a bunch of games this year, so congratulations to those Blue Mountain Eagles. And it's always a good game, Lehigh and Blue Mountain. They're both hitting teams.
Yeah, Lehigh falls the wayside tonight to in their game.
Yeah, Thorpe coming back big time.
Yes, but it's a prolific passing attack in Lehigh, and we'll see that matchup next Thursday night here on T102 Sports. So, Mark, clear your schedule back there at Chaos Central. And we'll have one on Friday, too. We'll just have to let you know during the week on T102 where that's going to happen. So don't forget, tomorrow morning, JP, you're going to join me for Sports Saturday. As of right now, we'll be talking to the head coach of the Schuylkill Haven Hurricanes, Mike Farr, on the program tomorrow morning. We'll recap all of tonight's action on AM 1360 and 106 FM WPPA. That's going to do it. Thanks to Justin and taking care of the stream on Scoop News. Thanks to all of you watching it there and listening on T102 and at T102radio.com tonight. Nativity wins the Battle of the Backyard 42-7 over Minersville, and you heard it all right here on T102 Sports.
Thanks for tuning in